1, 2, 3, and 4.
Welcome to Beer Gut Sports Network. We got old Crane D and Joe Schaaf here. Let's get ready to podcast.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We do have some news to report as we get going here, as I'm going to do a manual scuffed fade of the music, and hopefully you wouldn't have noticed if I didn't say anything, but we don't need to talk about it.
He said it. Obviously.
So we have some devastating news to bring to you here at the Beer Gut Sports Network. Unfortunately, after Iowa's devastating loss, Zach is on indefinite leave. We hope to bring him back soon, but the timetable has not been announced. And in solidarity, after Iowa State's shitty-ass season, Brett has decided to also take a leave of absence. And we hope to bring them both back soon.
Yep. Open arms. We're bringing them. They're coming back.
Arms wide open. Anyways.
Yep. Let's we can talk about another devastating thing with my Colgate pick. You know.
I don't know.
They were there.
I don't know.
The score does not match how they played. They were up 14 at one point. They were up in the second half 50-44. Like I said, hitting on all cylinders on the three-point line. The entire game, they shot 44% from three.
Which is actually... Oh, from three. I thought you were going to say overall.
From three. Overall, they shot 40.
Which is actually crazy because they had... I think they had at least two separate full-on 5 to 6 minute scoring droughts.
So one of them was 5.5. The other one was 4:45. But I wasn't counting.
Right? No, not at all. Yeah.
The scoring droughts, and what happened?
What happened?
The athleticism of Arkansas.
100% true.
They were getting their ass beat. They started pressing them. Horrible coaching on Colgate.
I don't know if it was so much. I mean, the coaching could have been improved. I don't know if that's the end all be all, because I think it's like you just said, that athletic difference, that pressure. I mean, when you only play 4 different teams all year, and they can't, you don't get exposed to that kind of pressure at all through the year. I would imagine, at least not from that level of athletes.
I think so. The coach, they don't know how to break a press.
Yeah, that was brutal.
So the end-all, be-all is the 22 turnovers.
Yeah.
That they had. When you have 22 less possessions than the other opponent, especially when the steals, I think they had 15 steals. That's fast break points. That's, I mean, I think they scored over 30 points off the turnovers. That was the key one right there.
Well, and you know what? I was a little bummed by in the beginning. So their big center, not their starter one, but the guy that came in off the bench. So
the freshman.
Yeah, the true freshman.
True freshman.
So he gets in, and right away they feed him in the paint. He posts up homeboy, makes him look like a little. I'm not even gonna say it.
Oh yeah.
He puts it in, and then he immediately goes and does the taunt right after.
Yep.
And then they don't feed him. They don't let him go to work. And honestly, where he fucked up, he had 2 ticky-tack fouls that he shouldn't have committed. Yeah. And he got himself in foul trouble early, which really put his team... It's just a bad spot to be in.
I honestly thought the refs were on Arkansas' side. I swear they filled out brackets. They had Arkansas going to the Final Four. There were some tic-tac plays. And it was was it Ferguson? Ferguson's one of their best three-point shooters.
Mm-hmm.
He would fake it from three. That Arkansas, hats off to them. They played well. They made adjustments, and they had they had a good play call.
Right,
putting the press on. But he was driving in, getting hacked left and right. Didn't do anything.
Yeah,
the refs didn't call it.
Well, I think Colgate had about the worst second half of a first half, the worst finish to a first half as you could probably imagine.
their drought was 5 minutes left in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
They did not score.
Yeah, and they went
were
from
up 33-19, and they
went in
36, I think. Was
they went in trailing at half.
Yeah.
It was brutal, but that game single-handedly, it was the first game I watched intently of the tournament, and I was almost burnt out of the tournament after watching that guy. I'm gonna blame you, and me, but mostly you.
You should blame me.
I'm gonna blame you. A little bit of me, mostly you, of getting me so hyped up about Colgate. I was very emotionally invested in that game.
They had it. They had the threes. Their best player did not score in the first half.
That was insane.
And they were still in it. I said if they were still in it, they had a chance. They were up 50-44. They came back in the second half.
Yeah, they didn't.
Arkansas wasn't pressing.
Down.
They don't know how to break a press.
Yeah,
I blame their coach on that.
It's kind of panicked.
Even with if you're double teaming somebody,
if
math serves me right, there's one player that's open.
You're a fucking whiz,
and
man.
They're open. They have to find them usually in the middle of the court on the press. That's where you go. The turnovers and the coaching right there. You can have, I'm saying 4 out of 5 dentists recommend. You can have pearly whites.
Do they still recommend?
If you have pearly whites but one cavity, your whole mouth hurts. And that's what happened with Colgate. And they lost it.
The press was their cavity.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
So your Creighton boys, you thought they were going down. What happened there?
I want to start again on a somber note. It's possible that I owe an apology to the program of Creighton. It's, perhaps I picked them to perform poorly in a very perilous premier round of this tournament. Man, that's a lot of P words I just dropped there. What a coincidence. But in all seriousness, it's good to see them survive adversity in that first round. I was half right, half wrong, and I think the tiebreaker just goes to me being wrong, which is fair. They got lucky that the last second layup didn't fall.
Oh yeah.
But maybe that was the kick in the shorts they needed to kind of wake up, break their drought. They played well in the second round against Ohio. Granted, it's a lower seed, but it's a lower seed that was coming in hot off an upset, right?
Oh yeah.
So
upset, which I picked. By the way. Look it up.
So I'm excited. I think it sucks to get matched up against Gonzaga, right? Next round.
Yeah. Yep.
But who knows? I can't sit here and lie to you, tell you I'm going to pick Creighton versus Gonzaga. But it's good to see him to get to the Sweet 16 for the first time since we did some research, right? Since the tournament was expanded to 64 teams, first time reaching this round. So good on Creighton. Good for the city. So I can't sit here and hate on them, and I hope they play well against Gonzaga. I think it's a tall order, but
if Gonzaga plays the way they did against Oklahoma came out firing on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzaga is just that.
It's a good ass team.
They're well coached and very athletic. They do not fault on anything.
I think Creighton's main or possibly only path to victory is just having a lights out day from 3, right?
Oh yeah.
Like it's not outside of the realm of possibility, right? I think even if they have a lights out game from 3, like it's still not a given that they'll even be in the game.
Yeah.
But there's a narrow path to victory. There's a path. It's just narrow.
Correct me. Was that game the 95 to 80 game?
I think that's the Iowa game.
That was the Iowa game. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, we'll touch on that.
What Creighton has for them, they played them earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
They did get beat pretty handily, but no matter what sport you play,
that's just motivation tape.
If you play the same team twice, it's hard to beat them twice.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're the fucking Buccaneers. They beat the Saints 3 times. Am I making? I think I'm making shit up. I'll have to go check the tape. I had a take similar to that of when it came to the NFL playoffs.
When you have Tom Brady, all analytics are out of the window.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, I think Zags, they're just too good for anybody. They're going to be well,
especially now, I think they got to, if it wasn't already their tournament to lose, right? I think that applies even a little bit more now with some of the upsets we've seen.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. They're well coached and they want to win. They want to play basketball. They're very head conscious with the ball. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Good. I'm more of a heart conscious kind of guy, but
yeah. Oh yeah. But you picked that Kansas upset.
I just honestly,
really isn't an upset, but
and I mean, really, it's not like I've been sitting watching Kansas basketball all year. It came from that super duper spreadsheet. Like they were a 3 seed, but then their per game stats in aggregate were just honestly pretty atrocious.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, well, numbers don't lie, right? I don't know.
I had them beating USC and then beating Oregon the next week. I thought they started off the season horribly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the first year since the 60s that Duke, North Carolina, and Kansas weren't in the top 25.
Right.
Well, it's just a weird year all around.
Kansas still had they beat a good team or two though too. Like it wasn't like
they beat Kentucky at the start of the year.
Right. Well.
Oh.
Okay.
Is that too much? Sorry, Jacob. And Dan, if you're watching, I know he's a Kentucky fan.
Eat your hearts out.
That was a good pick. They beat the snot out of them. So.
And really, I kind of landed with my bracket. I had USC making a run, but it was really more just because I didn't believe in Kansas than anything. Like
Eastern Washington, they were giving them hell.
Yeah, they gave them a run. I mean, honestly, Kansas just looked bad in both games. Like I don't know how much of it was Eastern Washington showing out or just like kind of unforced or lightly forced errors on Kansas's side.
And they're not the Kansas team that we know.
Right.
This whole year hasn't been the teams that we know, to be honest. It's just been weird.
It's a goofy year. COVID year, man. You just write this off in the history books. But on the bright side, on the bright side, it's better than last year with no tournament. So
I can't. Yeah, that still irritates me. But since we're talking about asterisks, Oregon, VCU having
you legitimately have an asterisk on your.
Oh yeah, I put an asterisk on it. I put that on there. VCU having to forfeit.
Mm-hmm.
What is your take on the VCU forced forfeit? Does that count as a forfeit if they're forced to do it? Or is that something else?
I found my notes.
All right. Throw it out there.
At the end of the day, I guess I understand it, but I don't like it. Especially if from the beginning, the NCAA said if you've got 5 healthy guys, you can play, right? And then when it came into crunch time, VCU's like, well, we got 5 healthy guys, and the NCAA is like, you can't play.
Yeah.
And then
double standards.
Yeah, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then also, I know they set a deadline on this, but you got 4 fill-in teams, right? Fuck it. Have them ready to go in Indianapolis up until game time, practicing at some like high school or college or something, like warming up there, and be like, you tap in, Bravo 6, you're in. You got T-minus 3 hours.
You know what? That's actually
ready
one of those teams that lost. Is that what you're saying?
No, like Louisville. One of those.
Oh, not one of the guys that. Just
they fucked up. Michigan State fucked up.
Having some. I never really thought of that. Having a backup.
The first 4 out, I think, were the designated backups, but I think they were. It was like they needed a day or 2 notice. Like there was like a day or 2 cutoff.
Yeah.
Where I think you should have had those 4 teams on site.
Yeah.
And then like even up until kickoff, delay the game. Like NCAA, you make more money when you play basketball, right? Get these teams in there, playing basketball. Louisville, I'm sure they sat out the NIT just because maybe we got a shot to play. And then you end up in the worst of both worlds where a team can't play and you don't fill in anybody.
Right.
And it's a bummer.
That's a good take with filling somebody in with it.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. My huge take, without thinking of what he just said, they stole that from VCU. That is heartbreaking as a program.
Oh my God!
So first
kids will never forget that.
First off, you can say you're in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But when did they find out? They found out at least a week and a half ago, right?
I think so. Yeah.
You're in the tournament. I know you want to party. You just won your conference.
Yep.
Just stay away. You want a chance. VCU is a very upset-prone team in the tournament that we've figured out in the past. You want to play in this game. Mm-hmm. You want a chance, as slim as it might be. You want a chance to make it. It gets stolen. Another thing, if they have it, who gives a fuck? They are young athletes. So not only are these kids younger, which has a lower cesspool or whatever the word is, they're in their prime and they're prime athletes. They're going to be fine.
I think the only counterpoint I have to that is from a business standpoint that I think the NCAA might be worried if they win and they played let me get my bracket out here. So let's just say they won and then they played Iowa and lost to Iowa and then they gave Iowa a outbreak and it crippled them come the Final Four.
Yeah.
Like that. I would think maybe that NCAA is thinking of it more from that perspective than a true
dog eat dog world.
Right. and honestly, that comes from more of the cynic in me, right? But But how pissed do you got to be, or how pissed would you be as one of these VCU kids, like you said, where
I am irate.
Where they ripped it out of their hands. They said, if you got 5 players, you can play with 5. And VCU's like, well, we've got 5 players. Yep. And they're like, well, you can't play with 5. And it's like, you mean?
Yeah, I'm heartbroken. I'm coming back for my senior year, and I'm kicking the shit out of everybody.
Well, imagine if you were a senior. I would hold a grudge for a long, long time.
But this year, everybody has a redshirt year, technically. You can come back. So that's fine. I'm coming back. But
big brain.
All right, there's our political
I'm coming
stuff.
back, yeah.
We're done with that.
One more year at co-eds.
We got to cut that out.
We didn't get too political.
Yeah, no. But I just have to switch off on to Iowa got beat. I'm sorry, Zach, but I am very happy that they got beat.
It's amazing that you can get beat while scoring 80 points and Garza going off for almost 40.
Oh yeah, he did everything he could do.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of him, but honestly, he played as well as you can ask anybody to play, and it's just. I mean that's why I love the game of basketball when he's getting off the court and he has a few tears on there. I would cry.
Oh, dude, that passion. Yeah. Love to see that passion.
And you don't see that too much in the NBA. That's why college sports. I am so sold on college sports. I love it.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, conspiracy time. Little mini conspiracy corner. Do you think secretly the NCAA had it out for Iowa? They wanted to keep Oregon fresh for Iowa by disqualifying VCU?
No, not enough.
Okay,
I don't. I actually think it's the opposite.
Oregon looked fucking good.
Yes, they went lights out. Dana Altman, he's an old Creighton guy. he almost went to Arkansas. That was the funny take. That watch the video of him almost taking the Arkansas gig. That was funny as hell. Did you remember that? They were doing the Hey Suey. The Hey Suey. Go Pigs, or whatever the hell they do. He was sitting there like, what the hell is everybody doing? Watch that clip. Swipe up. Watch that clip. It's too good. It is too good. And then he actually retracted that job and went back to Creighton for another 2 or 3 years.
Beautiful.
Yeah. He's like, fuck this place. Bunch of hicks down here. Anyways, so we spent a lot on that top left corner.
We did.
I only had one loss, which was the USC. Just I want to point that out. But so on this bottom one, was there any crazies that you saw?
Nothing crazy. I just wanted to. Well, I mean, just to me, well, I wouldn't call it crazy. I was gonna say horns down. Obviously, again, it was a call with the heart, not the head, but it was horns down, baby. That was nice.
We're a horns down podcast. If you look at our BeerGodSportsNetwork.com,
very true.
Brett's picture has the horns down. So look that up, but go on.
True and true. No, that it was basically so everything about this tournament has been pretty much like I don't know how to describe it. Like so close to being, man, Kramer, you're really smart, but it ended up being like bittersweet, right?
Dude, oh yes.
So like Colgate being up 14. I mean, that was your take, but Colgate being up 14. Choking it away.
I had it.
Creighton or getting lucky not to get eliminated in the first round. Yeah. Horns down, but then instead of fuck Bama, it was Bama said fuck you, you're getting fucked. So Bama bent me over. That's okay. I can accept that. Yep. This isn't this part of the bracket, but we'll touch on it. Wisconsin hyping me up in the first round, let me down in the second round. Liberty looking good for a while, but not being able to seal the deal. You know, well, I mean, we didn't really spend. I don't want to do a whole summary, but this whole bracket has really just been like a bittersweet, almost
it has been a roller coaster.
It has.
Just like the last year, just like this season, just a roller coaster.
True.
I
would like to go to a theme park and ride a roller coaster to get back to normal. Do you have more on the Texas game? I know I kind of went off the rails.
I know I brought up Abilene. They held Texas Tech to 51 points, and they couldn't still get it done.
That was insane. Okay, I retract my previous statement. That was insane.
But they gave up more points at 52, and they won the game with 53 points. If any betting man, if I would have said that a team would win a game scoring less than 54 points, you would take that. You would not take that bet.
I would bet against you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You would bet against that.
Almost no matter the odds.
I guess. Yeah.
If you had to pick a specific team.
No specific team. The entire bracket. If you thought someone was going to win a game scoring less than 54 points.
I'd give you like 5-1 on that and take it. Yeah.
I would not have guessed that.
I would have been scared for Wisconsin to do it, but yeah.
They did it. Yeah, but that's North Carolina. They're just always a high. We can talk about that later.
But I mean, Wisconsin scored more than that. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that was an insane game. Also,
I'm so glad it happened because fuck Texas.
Exactly. Do you have more Texas stuff or?
No, go ahead.
I want to give you props. Well, we kind of got carried away on the Michigan State side of the Michigan State UCLA matchup.
Yeah.
But you did have a plug in for. You liked the winner of that game to make a run. I hopped on that bandwagon again. And much like everything else in this tournament, it was, 50-50. I hopped on the Colgate bandwagon, didn't pan out. Hopped on the UCLA bandwagon. It's panned out so far. And one of their dudes, I forget his name, their point guard dude.
Talking about his hair?
Looks like he's playing on big head mode. You know what I mean?
Yes. Every game that he's played, I've commented on his hair to anybody who walks in the room.
The mini weekend, just vibing out, dude. I love that guy. Props to you. Keep balling out.
Keep the hair. I have a mullet. I have a hat on because I'm ashamed of it right now.
I have bad hair.
I needed a backwards hat, but
I have bad hair, so I wear a beanie. But you keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Yeah, now we're getting off.
No, we're killing it.
I think. That whole left side, I had 3 wrong picks.
I don't know. That whole left side, my whole bracket, I did atrociously on. We don't need to talk about it, really.
And honestly, so I was going to go in on who I thought the best team looked. So even all those wins on that first round, The best team I thought that played was Colorado. It was either Colorado or Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado was shooting lights out. They did whatever they wanted.
That's true.
And then they fell off in the next game.
I would have voted Wisconsin, but I think that's just hot take bias.
Yeah, and they're playing North Carolina. North Carolina is normally.
Well, I think it was just
supreme.
I was so invested in the take, right? Because I was like, "Ooh, I found this gem, right? I'm betting. I want to bet hard Wisconsin over UNC, right?" And so I think that's my bias, and somehow it panned out. I don't get a lot of things right, but I got that right. But yeah, I mean, Colorado shot lights out, and if any team lights it up like that, that's hard to compete
Oregon,
against.
Are they going to do it against their rivals in USC?
I know, right? I think I got USC in that one. It's like one of the last three chances for my bracket to make points in my gambling league. It's sad to say. I'm a dead man walking in that, but
yeah, this is my worst bracket of all time.
I'm sure that we're not alone in that, though.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
But I mean, I might not be with you because I've filled out some hot garbage brackets in my day. So
I did kind of try to go on the bandwagon of upsets this year.
Mm-hmm.
I just picked the wrong ones.
Yeah,
I did pick Ohio. I'll give props to that.
I thought you were gonna.
But I picked a 15 seed to win on the first round. I had a feeling there was going to be 25% chance, and I picked the wrong one. I picked Cleveland State to beat Houston. Oral Roberts got Ohio State. Honestly,
how did you not see that coming?
They surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I was never up on Ohio State.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to get beat second or third round. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy beat.
But not to Oral Roberts, though.
No. But ORU came back against Florida, another very athletic team.
Right.
And they beat them again. They had two guys that played the entire game, both games.
I need
Do you know how impressive that is?
I need that kind of conditioning in my life.
Division I basketball. Both of them, the one scored the first game like 38 points, the other one 31.
Mm-hmm.
The next game was like 35 points and 27, 28. They had four guys that played over 40 minutes for each of the games.
Damn.
That is just impressive. And
yeah.
So if they were playing every 2 days, they would be burnt out.
Dude, under this COVID protocol, if they had to play with 5, it wouldn't even affect them.
Oh, not at all. That would not affect them at all. Honestly.
It would infect them. It wouldn't affect them.
Yeah. Did I say infect?
I don't know. I just couldn't pass up the opportunity.
I think it happened. Oh, no. Lights out. That whole right side of the bracket, I don't even want to talk about because I picked all of them wrong. I think I missed 3 on the left side. The bottom right, I hit
the Midwest there.
2, I think.
Yeah, my right side of the bracket was straight treesh. I basically whiffed the entire South region outside of one Wisconsin call. Everything else was basically a whiff. Midwest also basically a whiff because I went hard on Illinois and I think I went against Houston. So it was a rough ride for your boy.
Which Houston had a rough time against Rutgers.
Yeah, and I did Big Ten dogs. Bet the Big Ten dog. Yeah. And I'll get into that at a later time.
So Nebraska, the worst team in the Big Ten, beat Rutgers by 30 this year.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
I mean, are we almost better than Houston?
We're better than Iowa State. I'll tell you that much.
But so with the players or the teams that are out so far, who is in the Final Four for you?
Well, Zags.
Oh yeah, easy pick right there.
Zags have looked good. I want to put Michigan in there, but the thing is, so going into this tournament, I was like, ride the best conference, right? Like Big Ten, Big Ten, Big Ten. God damn, do I have my tail between my legs right now. And I think Michigan's the last Big Ten team standing, I believe.
Pac-12 is shown out.
Honestly, I'm not confident with them against Florida State. But so this is again goes back to the heart versus head. Man, in that region, I'm almost thinking Michigan loses their next, so Florida State, and then heart over head, UCLA takes Bama. Because if anybody's got to do it, it's my homeboy Lil Weekend. I believe he can lead the team there.
Okay.
So now's the time. I would honestly, that's probably the greatest timeline for the fuck Bama if UCLA is the one to do it, because they've converted me, and so it'd just be sweet retribution. And then I just like to give Michigan over I guess it'd be Florida State, UCLA. Fuck it.
Pac-12, man, it's just killing it.
If we're on the bandwagon, we're on the bandwagon all the way. Zags versus UCLA in the Final Four.
Oh shit. I think that would be the first time a play-in game would ever be in the Final Four.
All right, and folks at home, much like Colgate and Liberty, this has something to do with me making that take.
Colgate, I did completely sober.
That is true. I was convinced sober, and then I wanted to double down buzzed. Yeah. I think Baylor just has a wide open run to the Final Four. And then I think I'm going to hop on the Loyola Chicago, because I'm not really a Houston believer, and I think I completely slept on them. And you know, hindsight's 2020, and you know, maybe I'm just being manipulated by all the media after the upsets of they shouldn't have been an 8 seed, yada yada yada. But fuck it, they beat the team I was gonna ride to the championship, so I'll put some respect on their name. I'll put some respect on it.
Okay. Well, I think we don't even have to talk about the Zags. They're in there.
You mean Creighton? I'm just kidding.
Which, honestly, that's going to be closer than the first game.
You think so? I like it. Wait,
Creighton.
Closer than Creighton's first game?
No, than their first game this year.
Because that was 1 point. Oh, yeah. I gotcha.
I think Creighton has a better chance than people think. They got over their lucky spiel. You'd rather be lucky than good, right?
I need to look up what the spread is, because I think it might be a situation where I pick the Zags in my bracket, but I bet on Creighton to cover, especially if it's a wide spread, because people are high on the Zags now and probably low on Creighton. So if it's double digit spread, I kind of want to bet Creighton to cover. You know?
Oh, I would definitely do that. I haven't bet in a while because I had a long string of bad bets. So I went against Zach and didn't double down on shit. I stopped betting when I was betting bad. So we'll see what happens.
Ride the cold hand.
Yeah. It's hard for me not to pick Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had a very tough game against LSU. LSU played pretty well.
Yeah.
I think well enough to beat most teams.
But I think LSU's a solid team, and honestly, it was probably a good test for Michigan, right?
No, I think it was a good wake-up call.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to just smooth in there. At Florida State, I haven't known anything about this year. It's hard to pick somebody you don't know.
Right.
And I think Michigan's going to get the win over Bama. LSU or UCLA is going to get their run done. I stopped that at Sweet 16.
You're sticking to it?
I'm sticking to my pick. But
live a little.
So
we've lived a lot.
I did
in this
pick
bracket.
Wisconsin to beat Baylor.
Same.
But I had Nova beating Wisconsin.
You riding that out?
Yeah. Villanova is going to make it to the Final Four in that bracket.
They did kind of remind everybody. I know there was some talk that they might not be the Villanova of the regular season, but I think they kind of reminded people that, hey, we're still a quality club here. You know what I mean?
Villanova in the tournament in the last 10 years has been a thorn in a lot of people's backs. I'm picking Villanova. Baylor had their run against Wisconsin. They played a hell of a game.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to take that. They're going to be arrogant with it. Villanova, well-coached team.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best coaches in the game right now.
So you're saying they know how to handle pressure and can break a double team?
Absolutely they do. Absolutely. They know how to play. If they're over athletic, just like if you're over pursuing on something, just go back door.
I wish I could be over athletic.
And that's what. Come back to Colgate. Arkansas was doing that a lot.
Yeah.
They were over pursuing it.
Right.
Go back door. That's a coach needs to tell them that.
They just made panic mistakes.
Yeah.
Panicked, made mistakes.
Still irritating. I'm calling this right now. You're hearing this on the 58th minute.
You heard?
Colgate coming back to the tournament next year.
Are we already 58 minutes?
With the, I don't know. That's a guess. If it is, then we're
in trouble.
Yeah. Colgate's coming back to the tournament, upsetting someone. I'm calling. They're going to the Sweet 16 next year.
Dude,
if the guys take the NCAA rule and come back for a second season or senior season.
I agree with that, especially if they can play more than just their pared down conference and regular season, get more experience against more athletic teams. Oh, yeah. I think they have the pieces to make a run.
Yeah,
it's just putting a little polish on it.
I'm calling it right now.
I like it. Instead of doing a full year squat on the Colgate take, I respect it.
I'm pulling it down. If they were gonna win, I was gonna get a shirt or a jersey or something of Colgate and bring it on this next one.
I was just gonna switch toothpaste brands. That's about it.
Yeah, and I had been using Crest. I'm sorry.
Crest 3D? Nah.
And I was
Colgate?
told that there's going to be some comments saying that I was against my picks with the Colgate, but 4 out of 5.
I told people I got flack for jumping on the bandwagon. I told them, dude, I'd bet him again. After watching that, I would bet it again if they played another one. Because I think they have some tools.
Yes, they do. Two things. So, like you said, you got to feed the big man. That will open up the outside.
Right.
Another thing, at the start, so they were 5 for 12 from the free throw line.
Yes, they were atrocious in the beginning from free throws.
If they hit the free throws, so they're feeding it to him down low.
They could have been up 20 at a point in the first half.
He hits the free throws with a couple and ones. Hit your free throws.
Mm-hmm.
This is a whole different ball game, folks.
Yeah.
And if we have fans in the stands.
Well, and to go with your coaching standpoint too, maybe the coach could have done more to break up that momentum slide in the last 5 minutes of the first half. Yeah, exactly.
Call a timeout.
Calm them down. Remind them that they're here for a reason and that they can, deal with pressure. Maybe they don't go into half trailing, and it's a different situation. But
that is simple. It's almost like, so there's a Baker Mayfield take. If he would have taken a knee on one of his games for the entire fourth quarter, they would have won.
That's such a shit take.
It isn't, because he threw like 3 picks and then they.
but I mean, who's gonna realistically take a knee?
No, I know. Or run the ball.
Yeah. Okay, that's more reasonable. Yeah.
But you hit your free throw. I mean, they looked like the superior team in
first stretch.
The first 15 minutes of the first half.
They just collapse under pressure. Is really the sum of it.
It's turnovers, 2 takes. Turnovers. The coaching is a big one. I still think that was coaching.
And honestly, it was the same thing for Liberty too, right? I think when Oklahoma State dialed up the pressure, that's when forced or unforced errors started to take a hold, and you can tell that they lack experience playing very athletic teams. Like, I think if it's one of those things where it's like, if you trust in what you can do and what you've been doing all season, you can weather the storm and and grind out a W. But when you panic under pressure, it leads to more turnovers. It kind of spirals a little bit.
They were panicking, which honestly, Colgate panicked at the start, but they kind of came into their own. You were telling me he had 2 travels.
The homeboy. Yeah, he traveled twice in like the first 3 or 4 times he touched the ball.
He got fouled.
Yeah,
I'm saying that was a foul.
I ain't disagreeing with you, but then he didn't let that get to his head, and he hit 3 or 4 threes in a row.
And
they were wet.
Badass threes.
They were wet.
Like that dude is running and gunning.
Yeah.
Oh man, that felt so good watching. I was in my office just screaming, 3,
dude. I was hyped. It's like noon on a Friday. Noon on a Friday. I'm running around my apartment.
No, I was sold.
You guys are lucky this dartboard's still attached to the wall. I'll tell you what.
I was sold, and that's why next year Colgate. I'm following them. I'm a Colgate fan now. Nebraska basketball ain't shit, so I'm going Colgate. But so anyway, back to my Final Four because we kind of came off on a tangent. So I got Zags, Michigan, Nova. That Midwest bracket is a toss-up.
Yeah.
For who is it going to be? I have Oregon State. They remind me, just because they remind me of a UConn team with Kemba Walker. They're coming off the hot hand. I thought they were too hot coming in. They're going to win their first game. Second one, I
like that you're hopping on the you can't be too hot coming to the tournament take. That's awesome.
I am. Because you really can't. You really cannot. But
yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah. Shit. You got what do you got?
Yeah, are we missing anything? I think were we going to talk about anything past the Final Four or
Final Four? I don't know if you want to.
I do want to touch on a couple betting. So I spent a few minutes on betting last episode. I'm not going to spend as much time here. I just want to call out. I might do a little deeper dive on the Cream D quickies. Not sure yet. Depends on motivation level. So when I followed the system, so actually, okay, let me rewind a second. Rewind. So when I talked about betting this tournament, right? Yeah. I said, I don't know if I'm actually going to put in these bets because I'm too lazy to go to the casino, right?
Right.
And so when it came to the system, I put in a total of 0 bets out of, I think it was 12 that qualified. So it was the system, for anybody that missed it, bet the Big Ten dog in the first 2 rounds, bet any favorite that's favored by 20 or more points, or don't bet the favorite. Bet any dog that gets 20 or more points of help. Bet them to cover. Bet any dog that gets 3 or less points of help. And honestly, I wasn't far off base. It was statistics driven. It shows, but I lost to the VIG. The goddamn mafioso got me. I went 6-6. So even though I didn't do poorly on these bets I never placed, I would have lost. I would have lost money on it. But I did get conned into betting on some of my gut takes. To recap, my gut takes were Colgate, Liberty, the Creighton upset, UC Santa Barbara, and then I had
the absolute.
And then I had a parlay of what was my parlay? I'd have to look it up.
So you actually bet him?
Zach, it wasn't through a casino, but
okay.
Zach he's like, I'll give you 3-1 odds on both Colgate and Liberty. I was like, I'll fucking take it. To be fair, I had been drinking with a friend that Friday, so it wasn't my fault. I might have been taken advantage of, actually, if you think about it. Zach, seeing civil court, buddy.
My take, what did I say? So the 12 seed or 13 seed, I was going to bet 4 games.
Oh, Michigan State fucked my parlay. I figured it.
Was it Michigan State?
Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
No, I was going to pick 4 out of those low ones. So I was going to pick the lower seed on the 12 seed or the 13 seed.
Yeah.
So it would have been Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Ohio, Winthrop, Colgate, and I think Liberty was the one.
You wanted to bet dogs straight up.
Oh, yeah. And that I would have won 1 out of that. And I think that would have made me money.
It might have made you a tiny bit of money. You would have been close to break even, I think.
Oh, yeah. It would have been close. But like I said, you hit one of them, you're going to break even.
Right.
Or maybe a little more.
You hit 2, you're sitting pretty.
Oh, yeah. Which those takes didn't.
Wait, you had a question. Who's going to have the most upsets between, what was it? Sorry, I'm doing a goofy stretch here. Yeah. 12-5 or 13-4. What did it end up being? I didn't crunch the
Pretty
8
sure
numbers
it evened
before.
out one each.
One each.
No, 13-4. North Texas and Ohio.
Yeah, 2-4, just like you said. You predicted 2-4 for both sets, but hey, 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
1-12-1, right? Oregon State. Yeah, Oregon State won. I thought Georgetown was going to win, but they got their.
Nah, they came in too hot.
They came in too hot. And that's the hot take.
That's
too hot.
I'm riding or dying on that. That's should we do? I'm gonna try to do one of these.
Yeah, we're gonna try it.
I'm gonna try.
3 and 4.
And tune in next week when we talk about the next round.
Yeah. Also, you might want to check out Cream Juice Quickies. I think I'm gonna be coming out with some betting stuff, systematic bets, not gut bets. I think I got some insight for the Elite Eight.
BeerGutsSportsNetwork.com. Check it out. We have the YouTube and the Spotify on there,
and our own goddamn website. We got it all.
That's
baby.
our website. We got it.
We're basically official.
Come on in. We're gonna have some better takes next week.
Whoa! What are you signing us up for? Good takes?
No, we're having good takes next week from what we saw this last weekend.
Fair.
Out.
All right. Adios.
楽しく